I am dragging my feet to work today. I feel like I'm stuck in a job that I don't like. But I'm just too afraid to quit. I'm not sure how to respond when friends and family start to question my decision. Am I broken? If you are currently confused about why is it so hard to leave your current job, this video is for you. You might be working under the influence of sociotropy. So, what is sociotropy? Simply put, it is a personality type. People with sociotropy place a huge emphasis on their relationship with friends and family. They have a strong need to be accepted and well-liked by the people around them. I care a lot about how my friends think of me, and I also hope that the impression is always positive. However, this personality has somehow limited my ability to make choices according to my free will. The restrictions on our autonomy may lie at the heart of a great deal of our unhappiness. An American psychiatrist, Aaron Beck, invented a scale to measure this phenomenon, and it is called the Sociotropy Autonomy Scale. It is a 60-question, self-reported survey to measure the causes of depression. For people with sociotropy, criticism from others around them and the lack of affiliation are the main reasons that make them feel stressed. And interestingly, sociotropy is also positively associated with anxiety and dissatisfaction about ourselves. So how does this relate back to being unhappy at work? And don't worry now, you are probably not the only one who is unhappy at work. A survey conducted by Investors and People on United Kingdom workers found that 60% of them are unhappy with their jobs. That is about 15 million people. Now back to how sociotropy can negatively affect our mood at work. Imagine if you are the type of individual who places a huge emphasis on pleasing people. You do actively seek out social acceptance. Like it or not, you might have unconsciously chosen a career on the advice of a parent, a friend, or a mentor just to please them. When you are in the job, you might not actually like it, but you put up with it because leaving the job is something very difficult to stomach. Remember the basic premise: you are in the job to please people. Leaving the job also means disappointing, and even upsetting the people around you, and to me, this is something I find it very difficult to accept. Because I'm afraid to see the disappointing faces of my parents. If you are in a good workplace with supportive colleagues, it might be easier to accept the situation and move on. After all, the only thing in this scenario you don't like is the job. It's not to say you dislike your colleagues, your manager, or the environment. But what if that was not the case? According to a survey on the level of work culture toxicity, more than half of 1,000 respondents, which is about 58% of them, reported at least a moderate level of toxicity at their workplace. Hence, you are highly likely to face some forms of toxicity where you work. For sociotropic individuals, such workplaces heighten their need to be liked, and this could lead to mental illnesses such as anxiety. In front of a toxic boss who piles up work, exhausting your emotional and physical stamina, combined with frequent nitpicking that chips away at your pride and self-esteem. While most of us would quit or find ways to alleviate the situation, sociotropic individuals would instead find more ways to please the boss, leading to even more exhaustion. However, there really is no end in pleasing a toxic boss. They have sky-high and ever-changing expectations. It is not logical or possible for anyone to meet such demands. In the end, it is likely that you not only end up disappointed but also take a beating to your self-esteem, as your boss deals you an unfair and heavy judgment. And each beating just leads to more anxiety. The idea of quitting is scary or even prohibitive. You got into the job because you wanted to please perhaps your friends, or your parents. Getting the job won the approval, but quitting the job would mean going against them. It would mean losing their approval. This creates a situation where it is twofold unhealthy. It is unhealthy to stay and yet too painful to quit. And this problem might be worse in Asian societies, where collectivism is much more heavily emphasized rather than individual thought and action. In Asian societies, there is a greater need to fit in and not stand out. Better to not rock the boat and risk upsetting society, rather than taking a decisive stand and making a dramatic change. And that is just at the societal level. What about the workplace, where ideas of hierarchy and seniority are extremely prevalent? There is the idea that you must show seniors and management a huge amount of respect and conform. In such environments, it is very likely that sociotropy is even more prevalent as work and society is edging it on. So, knowing the dangers of sociotropy, how do we recognize the signs of sociotropy and alleviate them? We must go back and ask ourselves, what are we in the job for? Are we doing it just to please other people? Does each move in our job designed to make other people happy at the cost of our own mental health and achieving work goals? When we receive criticism and feel upset, was it because we failed at the task? Or is it because we made somebody upset? These are important questions to ask to become more self-aware about our jobs, and what makes us happy. Hey there, I hope you liked that video. If you did, please consider sharing it with someone else who might want to learn just a little more about why they behave in their current way, because sharing is the biggest way you can help our channel to grow. Have a lovely day.